Racer here. Ah, okay, we're done looking at me. I'm working on this axle right here. This is for the rear end. It's gonna be going in the S10, the mess 10, as let me tighten that up there, as we call it around here. Yeah, photographic issues. I'm taking these little 7/16 studs out of this axle, and I'm putting these longer 12 millimeters in, so it's got the proper lug nuts for that truck, so we don't have some here and some there different. But anyhow, I need to drill these holes out. I've done this one. I wanted to make sure this worked, but I want to drill them straight because you don't want your stud in there all crookedy. So I'm doing it in a drill press. I found this handy dandy piece of plate with a hole in it, axle fits through, and a slot in it. Yeah, Chip here. And a slot in it where the drill bit will pass through after drilling the axle. So I'm just gonna try to hurt myself here. It sets something like that. The old hole will guide the bit. Life's grand. Only thing is, the contour of the back of the axle is bigger than the hole in this plate. So I took these 5/16 carriage bolts, and I got them stuck through the other 4 bolt holes, so it rests, the head of that rests on this plate, so it should be level. That's what we're betting on. So I'm going to move this bolt over to that hole, and I will show you the slick and easy. I hope this is the right way I'm doing this. Okay, we got the bolt moved, so this hole has not been drilled. Bring that around, size it up there. I think I got to kind of hold this down so it doesn't rock it, but and just don't go really fast either. There, it's self-centered. You don't need to push that drill bit through; it'll climb through it. Just let her, no pressure, let her go. Not taking a whole lot out. But there we are. And again, take this one loose. Get into this hole. Repeat the process 3 more times. You don't need to see this 3 more times now, do you? Anyhow. Slide that around there. Yeah, still got to do it 5 more times on the other one. I'll bring you back when I get this one done. Well, it's time to put wheel studs in. I already put 3 in just to get me back in the groove. And what I'm using for these longer metric studs are a 610 323 Dorman. They're 12 millimeter by 1.5 thread, and they're long enough to satisfy the drag racing safety where the stud needs to extend past the nut. It's important because you really don't want to lose a wheel stud or wheel. But how I put these in, got that slid in there. I use, probably too close for this, it's a U-joint press, ball joint press. This one happens to be Hobo Freight, and it works just fine. You slip it around there. Try to get it centered up on that head of that stud. Better centered than not. And you got to watch out that this piece, I'm going to call it the anvil, isn't riding up on the centering flange, the centering hub on the axle flange. And I get the Milwaukee out here and run that home. And that's it, just like that. And you're going to want to recheck your torque. Use a torque wrench. Your wheel studs multiple times after you've done this, because these things will seat in. Just get things acquainted, maybe 5-10 miles the first time, not very far, just to make sure that these are all the way home and that your wheel isn't going to come loose on you. But you just center that head underneath that screw pretty close. Drive it home. You don't want any gap between the flange and the head, and you want to have your impact in the right direction. That would probably make life easier. Only happens because you're watching. If you weren't watching, it was always fine, I'll tell you that. True or not. Don't get too carried away because you're using a pretty good impact. This'll bend. Been there, done that. But there, that is, all of them are installed. Another trick I'll show you here in just a second. So after you get these all installed, take your brake drum, a wheel, this happens to be a wheel plate of the right pattern, and see how that goes on there. It should, when you get it lined up, slip right on there. I might not be lined up. That means those studs are pretty dang close to straight. That's how you want it, because otherwise you're going to be fighting things. You just as well not fight. Now I'm going to have to go through and I'm going to have to drill the brake drums for the larger studs, I believe. And we're going to put some bearings on here. I might show you how that gets done too. But anyhow, that's how I installed larger sanctioning body approved wheel studs in these old axles. Follow along in case you want to watch me screw up some more. I'll get them drums done. I'll probably in this video show you the installing of the bearings, and we'll carry on.